Notice, conversion to Jesus of Nazareth is not the entrance to the kingdom of heaven. Having a conversion experience like mine doesn't guarantee that someone has entered the kingdom of heaven. It's important to remember that the kingdom of heaven exists right here on earth. It is not somewhere in heaven. Paul says it is here. When he says, brother, you will not inherit the kingdom, he's talking about the kingdom on earth because Paul was preaching the kingdom today. These who preached with me the kingdom of God, for Jesus Christ said the kingdom is at hand. When he died, it came. And then what happens? When Paul spoke in those days, he always said, you have already had a conversion with Jesus of Nazareth. Now cross the bridge, go to the kingdom. And what is the kingdom? The resurrected one. So in the second letter to the Corinthians, look what he says. Second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 1. Second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 1. Our job is to get you into the kingdom, because converting to Jesus does not imply that you have entered the kingdom of heaven. Converting to Jesus is a good experience. But what do you do with Jesus, especially if you do not understand his gospel? You will not know the truth. On the contrary, to know Jesus Christ without his gospel is a martyrdom, because you feel guilty, you feel cold, you feel hot, you feel lukewarm, because you don't understand the gospel. Because you don't understand the gospel. Look at what it says in chapter 1, verse 15. And with this confidence I was planning to come to you previously, so that you might have a second blessing of what? A second blessing of what? Because it is not enough for you to be converted. You need a second grace. And the second grace is offered by Growing in Grace Ministries. That's what happened to you. Why do you say, hey, that sounds different to me? Because your spirit was already waiting to enter into that second grace. That's why the system says, well, what is it about them? Why do they talk different? Why do they talk strange? Because you have entered a second grace. The first grace was when you knew you were a child of God, where you had that restlessness to seek God. The second grace is when the eyes of understanding are enlightened and you discover that you are predestined and chosen before the foundation of the world. That's what happened to you. Say, a second grace.